Good morning, Attorney General, and just for the record, I think I want to say thank you once again and your Parliamentary Council for facilitating the voice of the Church in the land on this matter. Before I go any further, I just want to, for those who may be new to the appointment that I have, the Ecclesiastical Commission of Antigua and Barbuda is a government-appointed commission, and it's placed to shorten the link between church and state. And today we humbly make a submission of the Church's position and recommendation to the amendment of the Public Holidays Act 1954, the caption 354. And I just want to, at this time, just recognize and acknowledge who we are as the executive of the Ecclesiastical Commission of Antigua and Barbuda. And myself as chairman, William Dorset. We have representation from the Antigua Christian Council, Reverend Derek Brown, he's here. We have from the Evangelical Alliance of Antigua and Barbuda, Reverend Ivor Davis, and we have representing him Bishop Harris. Seventh-day Adventists of Antigua and Barbuda, Dr. Carson Green is here. Baptist churches, we have representing them in the nation, Dr. Emmanuel Elize. And Antigua and Barbuda Council of Church Leaders, Bishop Charles Wood Brown. He's absent today, but he has representation in Pastor Trevor Grant and the other pastor. I'm sorry for not having a name at hand. Also here represented in the room today as another established entity is the Independent Churches of Antigua and Barbuda. Elder Elton Williams is here as well. We have the presence of Bishop Dr. Lester Bradford. He's a son of the soil and founder and overseer of Exousier Cathedral, and also the first chairman of the Antigua-Barbuda Bar Clergy of Council of North America. So out of the United States of America, there's a group of Antiguan ministers that have been rallying not only on this matter, but on other issues of interest concerning the nation, but as divined as God would have had it scheduled that he's here on other matters, but able to support us on this matter. So he's also at the table as well, Bishop Bradford here. I would just like to call on Bishop Lester Bradford, as I said, who's here from the Azusa Cathedral and also the first chairman of the Antigua-Barbuda Bar Clergy Council of North America, to just make some comments.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I thank you for the opportunity to be able to address some of the gatekeepers of this great nation. In the Holy Bible, Daniel chapter 2, verses 20 and 21, it states, "Blessed be the name of God forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his." Verse 21 says, "And he changes the times and the seasons. He removes kings and sets up kings." And in Romans 13, 1b, it says, "There is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God." Now, I quote those scriptures to remind us who is in charge. Everything that pertains to God is sacred and must be given priority, honor, and respect. For the Christian, Sunday is the Lord's day. Now, in the last paragraph of your document, you mentioned that, and I quote, "This draft of the suggested amendment to the Public Holidays Act, Cap 354, is to facilitate public discourse on the matter to garner the views of the wider population so that a definitive position regarding the treatment of Sundays can be reached in the law which is acceptable to all." Now, according to the World Atlas, as of September 16, 2019, Christianity is the dominant religion in Antigua and Barbuda. It also states that 77% of all Antiguans and Barbudans are Christians. Now, do you conduct or have you conducted a survey to prove that the majority of Antiguans and Barbudans are for the changing of this act? What percentage of the 77% of Christians in Antigua and Barbuda would you say agreed to change Sunday to a regular day? Can you provide evidence that the views of the wider population is to change Sundays from being a holiday? Please provide the proof. You began the memorandum by stating that you need to correct the situation regarding the observance of Sundays, insinuating that this was an error that needs to be corrected. Please provide proof of this being an error. We are not forcing anyone into a particular religion. However, it is essential to keep Sundays as a holiday so that the 77% of Christians and other religious groups can have a day of worship and of rest. We are made up of body, soul, and spirit. In order to function effectively, we must replenish our bodies and our minds. There must be balance in a community. We as citizens are working and paying our taxes. However, we as human beings are entitled to a day of worship and rest. To take away our Sundays as a holiday is to disturb our quality of life. Example, economically, we understand the importance of making money. The Bible says, money answereth all things. But there's a time and place for everything under the sun, and everything should be done in moderation. As the Bible says, God worked 6 days and then rested on the seventh. Our Sundays are used as days of restoration, replenishment, and preparation. This is the day that we commune with our brothers and sisters to share information, get spiritual direction, encouragement, and guidance for the upcoming week. We are not forcing anyone to buy into our religious practices, but for the 77% of Christians in Antigua and Barbuda, we need to continue to keep Sundays as a holiday and make it available for them to worship, rest, and observe weekly. Let's put the money aside. Let's talk about the mental health aspect. How would you feel if your spouse had to work 7 days a week with no day to rest? How would their mental health be in that situation? This is a recipe for burnout. There is a whole church society that could be affected negatively with the amendment of this act. What are you going to tell the citizens who have left their secular jobs to pursue the ministry full time? Once you've established Sundays as a regular work day and destroyed Sunday services, what compensation have you put in place for the pastors and ministers who have left their secular jobs to work in full-time ministry? Would it be welfare? Have you thought deeply about what the repercussions of that move would be? How unfair it is for you to even ask us to give up our 1 day of worship for the sake of capitalistic gain. This can be shameful. In closing, our goal as leaders should be to create a healthy society. Within the realm of health lies balance. I want to say that again. Within the realm of health lies balance. For every human being to have a balanced life, along with making a living for ourselves, there needs to be that day where we spend morning, noon, and night with our families, to go to our respective places of worship and congregate with people of like-mindedness. That, my brothers and sisters, is a healthy society. I humbly thank you for this great opportunity and for listening. It's deeply appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Bishop. And that's exactly what we're doing this morning, to create a healthy society. That's why we're here talking like this morning, to create some balance. And I dare say it was the Atlas you said that gave you those statistics of 76. Our Christian society is greater than that in this country. You can be sure of that. It's well over 80-85%, quite easily. I believe we have a small section of Muslims here, very small. The Rastafarian movement is very small, but the great majority, at least 90% of this country, is Christian. And if you, Bishop, you are able to listen to most of those talk shows, all the stations, Observer, ZDK, Crusader, Point FM, you name them, the discussion resonated throughout the whole society. And so we have an idea, we've got the pulse of the people. And that is why I'm inclined to the view that Sunday will remain a common law public holiday. It's called bank holiday, it was, eh? That's where it started way back when. Bank holiday. It will remain that thing. We are a Christian society. We shall protect Sunday and keep Sunday as a holiday. And we will be making Sunday the 12th public holiday listed on the public holidays. Just like Good Friday and Christmas Day, Sundays will also be inserted. So your words have not fallen on deaf ears at all, my friend. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you.